there's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca. Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Welcome to the Lowdown. Today's show, Oilers are playing McDavid, Draisaitl, or the Glimmer Twins together 54% of the time this season, and they're not winning enough. Maybe 75% is the answer. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Fall into savings with 0% financing on all 2025 Buick and GMC vehicles. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com for details. As you know, we are live on YouTube and Sports 1440 Radio. Also online at iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcasts, and we tweet it out on X. Text or call us anytime, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, especially if you have an early lead on the winning lottery numbers. We always want to hear about that. Twitter at Lowetide, Declan Krueger, J Fenwick 04, Sam W 1440. Our guest today, Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic, wrote a brilliant article on young Connor Ingram, the goaltender, and what he's going through. We'll talk to Daniel about that and the team on the road losing last night. And Andrew Walker, oh my, finally, will be my guest coming up today at 12:40. I can't wait to talk to Mr. Walker about those Edmonton Oilers and his take on this year. A little bit of a challenging year for Chris Knobloch so far. All right, I believe we've done everything but the introductions, and here we go. He is the equivalent of Ike Howard and Matt Savoy. Lots of hair and plenty of talent, but he can't get into the big parts of the game because old people. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Wilness. Sam Wilness, everybody.
Hello. How are we doing today?
Thanks so much for being patient, Sam. I appreciate your patience on waiting for me to, one day I'll just kick this chair with wheels on it and I'll go right through the front of the building and never return. Don't you worry.
Oh, okay. Very interesting way to get out of the building.
There you go. He says a lot of things about a lot of things and is refreshingly intelligent with his takes. That's right. He's this show's outlier. It's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
Thank you.
I know
That's very kind.
Well, Karen told me I had to be nicer to you. So.
No, that's okay. You can keep being mean.
Well,
I'm
so.
interested to hear what Donnie's intro is next or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because this is clearly shaping up to hit him in the mouth with a baseball bat.
All right. The one for this is complimentary, but there's a little twist to it. He tells people he is laser focused on the task at hand, which is this show, when in reality, he is fretting over his Saskatchewan Roughriders. Will they remember how many belong on the field? You need to take out the dozen pill to the huddle. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody. How nervous are you?
Oh, man, how nervous am I? Well, first of all, let's just all live our lives with kindness and love. Let's start there. Second, I'm pretty nervous. Like I outlined it a little bit yesterday when we talked about it briefly. They are playing the hottest team in the CFL who beat them in the last week of the season. Granted, Saskatchewan had home field in the West Final locked up, so it's a little bit different. But the best quarterback, like the better quarterback on that field is going to be on BC. And that makes me a little bit nervous. I like Saskatchewan as a whole. I think offensively they have a better unit. I think defensively they have a better unit, and I think that's why they're going to win the game.
Are you worried that BC's like they've been hot? So is Montreal. I mean, it feels like Montreal and BC are on a collision course.
No, well, I mean, listen, Montreal might get out of the East. I think whoever gets out of the West is going to win the Grey Cup this year. Whether it's BC or Saskatchewan, I think they beat the winner of Montreal. Hamilton.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in victory on the weekend?
5.5. Yeah, 55-45. I like that.
So not your usual swagger, let's be honest.
No, and there's reason for it not to be. Like, truthfully, the way BC is playing.
If you were in Vegas and you had to bet on Josh Allen ever winning a Super Bowl in Buffalo or the Rough Riders winning this weekend, what would you put more money on?
Oh, I'd put more money on the Riders winning this weekend.
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. I do think Josh Allen wins at least one Super Bowl in Buffalo, though.
Yeah. You ever have one of those moments where the text groove wasn't working for me, but I got this from Montana to Rice. There's no confirmation. So I'm like, whoa, it's some huge deal. And we did have a big deal in the NFL, right? Colts?
There have been a couple, yeah.
Making a move?
That's the biggest one. Sauce Gardner, former All-Pro corner for the New York Jets, 4th overall draft pick back in either 22 or 23. I think it was 22. Traded for 2 first-round picks to the Colts. Sauce Gardner is a guy who came into the league and lit the league on fire playing corner. Like after his first season, I think was kind of thought of as the best cornerback in the NFL. Since then, I think he's taken a little bit of a dip, and some of that is the rotation of coaches there and systems and just overall personnel on the defense. I don't think he's a top 5 corner anymore, but he's still a very valuable piece. And the Colts, listen, to give up 2 first-round picks, like that's a heavy price tag for a guy of Sauce Gardner's caliber. But the point being is that the Colts are going all in, man. They really believe they can do this. And after the rotation they've had at quarterback for the last 6 years, why not go all in and try and win it?
I asked Gregor this question yesterday. I'm going to ask you now. Who are your favorites right now to play in the Super Bowl?
It's a really good question. Out of the AFC, I will say, man, that's a good question. I got to be honest. Right now, if I had to pick, I would pick the Bills.
Ha ha! You believe in them.
I do.
You believe in the Buffalo Bills.
But Kansas City, who, by the way, isn't actually in a playoff spot right now, you can't count them out. The Colts, I know they lost this past week, but they are real and they belong to be there. I think New England's going to flame out in the playoffs at some point. I don't think they're as good as their record is, but I would pick the Bills. And then in the NFC, the Eagles, I guess. Well, and they haven't looked great either, but I don't know who else I would pick.
This pleases me. Can you imagine what this show would be if it's Super Bowl week and the Eagles are playing the Bills?
Man. Oh, man.
We would be snipey at each other.
Yeah.
I'd bring in Mrs. Andrews.
The thing is, like, the whole time, I'd be like, just let me have it. Like, you won one last year. Share the wealth a little.
I would bring in Mrs. Andrews, and I would have a top 10 things Mrs. Andrews said, and I'd have Mrs. Andrews say them, like on Letterman. That's what I'd do.
Another big trade involving the Jets. Quinnen Williams is going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
So they're just selling house on their defense.
The Cowboys sure played well the other day.
You know what's funny for me about that one? I think the loss last night for the Dallas Cowboys, I think it eliminated them from playoff contention.
Good.
Because here's the thing. That was a game. That was a primetime game at home against a 2-5 Arizona Cardinals team with their backup quarterback. And not only could you not get it done, this high-flying offense that you're supposed to have, that's supposed to be the only real bread and butter of your team, you got 17 points. I know it was just one game on November 3rd. I think that was the game that eliminated the Cowboys from playoff contention.
Jerry Jones looking unhappy is like, it's my fuel. It's my energy. It's my oxygen. I love it, man. I know that's hate watching, but I can't help it. All right.
Sometimes hate watching is the best watching.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we got to get to the Oilers. I didn't run with the Oilers first because honestly, if you're talking about quality of entertainment, we shouldn't even talk about the Oilers today. You know, they get up to Cobb, and they do this a lot. I think whatever the coaches are doing to have them protect the league should be deleted from the playbook, because when the Oilers start protecting a league lead, they look terrible. They should always be pushing. And I look, I know you're mad at Evan Bouchard. Is everybody most mad at Evan Bouchard today? I can never tell.
Man, he's playing horribly.
Well, you
like, he's so bad
he's
defensively, and you're a defenseman. Like, I'm sorry, man.
He's never going to be Jason Smith, so he can't knock that guy on his ass, Suter. But what he could do is like block him out. There's a way defensemen can do this. They get in front of the player, and then they put their ass into the player, and the player moves backwards. Might want to spend some time with Evan Bouchard on that. Having said that, I have noticed online a great deal of commentary going on. The analytics folks are correctly defending Evan Bouchard. He's worth it. However, there seems to be a sense of, well, you're really stupid. Why are you being critical of Evan Bouchard? And I will respectfully say that the saw him good folks have a point. You know, it's okay to acknowledge how brilliant Evan Bouchard is, but it's also okay to say, you know, he needs to be better, and this is the kind of thing that can cost you the Stanley Cup again. Defensively, he is indifferent at times. And this isn't about, you know, making a bad pass. This is, you have to get in front of that player. This was not Brett Hull in front of the net. How many goals does P.S. Sutter have? Not many. And that was the game. You know, people are mad at Calvin Pickard. They're mad at all these other guys. I just think that the Oilers, when they get ahead, they try to play defense, and they're no damn good at it. Keep pushing offensively. Make 2-0, 4-0. And then when they score 3 goals, you win. The team is, and the other thing is that they are playing McDavid and Draisaitl too much, and they're not trusting the kids. And look, I know that Alec Regula has been activated, and soon it'll be Zach Hyman and Matthias Janmark, and then the coach will have the veterans that he wants. But that said, the reason the GM went out and got Savoy and went out and got Ike Howard was those players are part of the future. So if they're not part of the future in the NHL, then you better send them to Bakersfield and let them play there, because playing 7 minutes a night really isn't doing anything.
You know, this is my thing with the Oilers, and it's contradictory to what I said yesterday. But, you know,
well, we all do that. We're on Talk Sports Radio.
Listen, as you know, new information is presented, you have to adjust your takes and your opinions and your thoughts, things like that. But what I said yesterday was essentially that the last 2 years the Oilers made the Stanley Cup Finals, they had these bad starts, and they didn't look like they were going to be world beaters who were running through the West. And that gave me confidence for the Oilers this season, because they haven't looked that way, but they've done it the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So why should the expectation change that they won't, kill Dallas again, or whoever gets out of the Central in the conference finals? My thing now, like, I don't know if this team right now, from what I've watched, and again, they've played a lot of hockey, and, it's been heartbreak after heartbreak. 2 straight seasons getting as close as you can to the ultimate goal and falling short, like that weighs on you. But right now, when I look at these Oilers prospects in the playoffs, do you confidently pick them to win a series against Vegas the way Vegas is playing? Like, what if they have to play a red hot? I don't pick the team. Like, my point being is that nothing I've seen. This team is 6-5-3 through 14 games. They look like they're on pace to be, a 6-5-3 team through all 14 games throughout the rest of the season.
Mhm.
And that's just not good enough.
Well, there are some things. Hyman's not playing, and they are getting
For
some
sure.
answer. They are getting some answers. Jack Roslovic looks good. Mangiapane scored yesterday. A nice goal. Fantastic pass from Nuge. But you're going to need more than that. If those two lines, let's say they move Hyman onto the McDavid line, and then they move, Hyman to left wing, and Roslovic plays right side, and they're satisfied with Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and I'm sorry, Mangiapane's on the. If they're satisfied with Mangiapane and Hyman with McDavid and Podkolzin and Roslovic with Draisaitl, then they could move Nuge to the third line, and sure to God, they could play one of Savoy or Ike Howard. But if whoever's not on that line needs to go down, because the coach is going to love Matthias Janmark all over again. Going to put him on the PK, and that's going to be part of it. So I think this team can develop one forward, one winger this year, and probably it's Matt Savoy, and then you send Ike Howard down, and you play the hell out of him, and you have him fill the net, and he will do that. I don't have any doubt about it.
Now, how does that solution solve the problem that is Evan Bouchard being like the worst defender in the world?
As I've said many times, you are just going to have to live with Evan Bouchard's mistakes. I know you don't like it.
No,
put it this way.
I don't love it.
But put it this way. It's sort of like the Buffalo Bills.
Evan Bouchard?
Yeah. He gets really, really close, and then it doesn't work.
But here's where I would say the difference lies. Like the Bills through and through are good, but just lose to a better team. Kansas City 4 times. Cincinnati
You don't think Florida
once.
was a better team than Edmonton?
No, but we're not doing Oil to Buffalo. We're doing Evan Bouchard to Buffalo.
Sure.
My point being is that that Buffalo through and through good lose to a better team.
Right.
Evan Bouchard, glaring hole in his game. Glaring hole.
Having said that, Evan Bouchard is a fantastic outscorer and is an exceptional passer. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because we got to go. But the Oilers are ghastly in moving up the puck in the headman pass this year. And they need Bouchard more than ever because nobody can make an outlet pass except for Bouchard right now.
Can I just make one counterpoint to that before we
Sure.
go? I don't care how nice your outlet pass is. I don't care if it's a perfect tape-to-tape pass. If you're going to be the reason you're giving up a game-winning goal.
I understand that. But having said that, Bouchard is responsible for a lot of game-winning goals. And the numbers say that.
I actually have a question. Do you know the number? I'm sure you don't. So we didn't talk about this beforehand of his game-winning goals involved in versus game-winning goals.
Oh,
against.
I do not know that. I just know that the goals scored that he has something to do with, like on the ice. People are always surprised when I run the numbers and they get mad because the numbers are so impressive. Now, this year, they're not. He has not played well this year compared to his own past. But I always look at, in terms of 5-on-5, I look at 3-year trends. So that's 22-23, 23-24, and 24-25. And I did that because I'm kind of missing Ken Holland. And he always used to say that during the media avails. He'd just list off the years like it was, something that people do. And nobody else has ever done that in the history of hockey. But Ken Holland did it. All right. At 5-on-5, Bouchard, 56% goal share while he's on the ice, 59% expected. When he's off the ice, it's 51% goal share, 53 expected. He is better than average. 56% is a pristine number. So you can argue Bouchard's defensive play. Those are single plays, and I'm saying they can have enormous importance, and that's what I'm saying. They are really, really important. However, as is the case with the math folks saying that all of the Somme good people are idiots because they can't see what Bouchard is, you can't just throw Bouchard in the ditch because of mistakes made. They are frustrating. He has to get better, and I think it's fair to be critical, but you have to take everything into consideration, and he is an impact player with the puck on his stick and overall as an outscorer, and the last 3 years worth of evidence is clear. All right, 12:18 on the way. Andrew Walker coming up at 12:40. We'll have rumors straight ahead. At 1:20 today, it's Daniel Nugent-Bowman from The Athletic. And on declinations today, we're going Declan CAA, I believe.
We certainly are. We are switching up the schedule a little bit today. We're going to get back to the regular programming come next week, probably. But Donovan's not here today. Hi, my name is Tamara with Donovan, and it is going to be the first edition of the college football playoff rankings tonight. So I want to, do Declan NCAA ahead of that.
Show of hands, who wants to do Hi, my name is without Donovan? Exactly. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Increase your lean muscle mass and fight age-related energy decline with Regenerlife Creatine. This high-quality third-party tested supplement helps replenish your body's energy stores to support your resistance training. Find it at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off genuine leather and reclining sofas when you buy the matching love seater chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off, and with every mattress purchase, you're entered for a chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Jason Krueger isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Krueger Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Krueger weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Step into fall with Husqvarna and the Lawnmower Hospital. Husqvarna has chainsaws for the homeowner, farmer, rancher, or professional available in battery or gas-powered models. Take care of leaves quickly with the power of Husqvarna blowers. You'll find it all at the Lawnmower Hospital, and you can see the full selection at lawnmowerhosp.com.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
High sticking, they're breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. By the way, Sam, you really seem to have a sense of country music. Twang Tuesdays are rock and roll right now. I appreciate you.
Thank you for that. I grew up listening to country, so I have a few songs to pick from.
There you go. My dad thought there were two kinds of music, country and Western. And that was it, man. I've heard more Tennessee Ernie Ford than any living human.
Hey, also, new Wolf liner just sent to me.
So nice.
Not only are they making it easy, they're also family owned and community driven.
Okay.
Yeah, WolfGMCBuick.com. Absolutely, we do. We'll get that printed off.
That dovetailed beautifully. You did very well because we hadn't gone into the next.
It was natural.
Yeah. Time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself, greatcanadiansolar.com. Okay, here we go. The Oilers have activated Alec Regula from injured reserve. They didn't need to make a corresponding move because they've been running low. They've been running sans one player for some time now. He hasn't played in over 3 weeks. I have not seen a starting lineup for tonight. Has anybody seen that yet? No. Okay. So my suspicion is that they're on the road. They just lost. I think we'll see some lineup changes. I'm not even going to hazard a guess. Not even going to hazard a guess whether or not Regula will draw into the lineup. And Emerson's been playing okay. I mean, I know he blew his shoe there, but it looked to me like McDavid kind of tripped him a little, right? So I don't know that you'd run him out. On Bouchard, Bad Captain says he's a bum. Cam says he's a bum. Oh, wait a minute. Bad Captain said something else. Hi, Al. This is James from the Hood. I think Knobloch is overrated. Uri could play the crap out of McDavid and Draisaitl. He should be playing the kids more. I'm going to stop there. I know you wrote longer, and I will get to it, but I wonder if this is what McDavid and Draisaitl want. They're playing 54% of the minutes. It's too much. Nobody else can get a gear going. But what if this is what the Glimmer Twins want? What if this is their idea of how to win? Now I'm going to go on with the rest of it from James from the Hood. How do you think the young guys on other teams excel and develop? They play in different situations like PK, etc. Knobloch is setting us up for failure. I also think it's time for Bush to sit games and watch. You're not alone. A lot of people. Tell Lowetide I felt Dallas would go into the decade of darkness when they signed Prescott, talented but lacks a culture aura of incorporating winning. Well, my favorite Dallas quarterback is Tony Romo, and I think he incorporated winning wonderfully. I hope the Dallas Cowboys get the next Tony Romo, and if not, the next Danny White. I fear Dak Prescott in a way that I didn't Romo. Romo had a tendency to blow the big moment, in my opinion. And that's why I loved him. The Flames have recalled Jan Kuznetsov. Are you happy about that, Josh? Does that fill you with joy? Is that the move they needed to make?
Got to be honest, I don't even know who you just said.
Okay. Terrific.
Sorry, not as plugged in as I should be right now.
Well, but you're in Edmonton. Why should you be plugged into the Calgary Flames?
Listen, we thought the Flames were going to be a playoff team this year, so we're not worried about their prospect pool.
True. That's a very good point. And they'll make it.
That's right. He'll be integral to the 2029 Stanley Cup run.
Yeah.
Just that 30-goal score. He's just waiting.
Well, I've held off as much as I can, but this segment should be at least a little bit, boys, about these football trades.
Yeah.
So let's break some stuff down here. What's like? Obviously, the Colts are going to go. The Colts are going to go for it.
The Colts are going for it, and why not? Quite the haul for Sauce Gardner. Now, Sauce Gardner is a great corner. I do think he's regressed since his first couple seasons in the league, really his rookie year, honestly. But he's obviously still very young, and he is still very good. He doesn't love to tackle, but he's good in coverage. 2 first-round picks and Adonai Mitchell seems like a lot to give up and seems like a lot to send back to the New York Jets. But clearly, the Indianapolis Colts feel like they can do it this year. And I wonder if they look at the landscape of the AFC and some of the heavy, like Baltimore has not been there. Kansas City right now, I think we all think they're going to make the playoffs and they're all going to be one of, the favorites, but they're not in a playoff position right now. Buffalo has had some, less than desired losses. Denver, I know they have the same record as the Colts, but Denver, I think if you talk to 100 people who watch the NFL right now, 99 of them would trust the Colts more to win a playoff game than the Broncos. And I think the Colts realized all that. And when you've had a quarterback carousel for the past 6 years, when you drafted a quarterback 4th overall and it didn't work out, now you're a 7-2 team with one of the best offenses. And by the way, the potential league MVP in Jonathan Taylor playing, why not go all in for it?
Jets receiving second-round offers on edge rusher Jermaine Johnson, according to SNY's Connor Hughes. Where do you think he could go?
You know what, man? I don't know, but send him away. Like, that's what the Jets are doing right now. Like, might as well get rid of everybody.
Is Garrett Wilson next?
Well, Garrett Wilson's hurt. You can't trade him. when
Oh,
he's on
really?
IR. Yeah.
So is this?
I didn't know
like,
those rules for the NFL. That's my bad. That's
Is
on me.
this sort of like them trying to do what the Cowboys did when they traded? Was it Herschel
Walker
to the Saints? He traded his entire draft, I believe. If I've got that.
Oh,
right.
sorry. You can trade a player on IR.
Okay,
Josh. My apologies.
No, that's good. I
So
thought,
let me rephrase so that I guess I've gone too obscure, but the Jets appear to be doing what the Cowboys did with a bunch of trades many years ago, where they are just adding picks and then they end up going in and getting their quarterback, their wide out, and really kind of resetting. Is that what the Jets are trying to do?
Yeah. Fire sale. You want to hear the future draft picks for the next 2 years that the New York Jets have? They have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years and 2 second-round picks, and 3 of those picks are owned by them. So of the 7 draft picks they have in the next 2 rounds over the next 2 years, they only own that. It's their own. 3 of their picks are their own. And now they own Dallas's and Indianapolis. And I think the Dallas first-round picks are going to be good. Or the Dallas first-round pick next year is going to be good.
It's maybe the Jets would be interesting coming out of this.
I sure hope so. I would love for them to find success with this haul they've got. The one thing I would say is, like, you know, with those draft picks, you probably hope you find a Quinnen Williams or a Sauce Gardner. They already had Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner, but I will say this as well. It's not like it was 1 first-round pick for those players. It was 2 for Sauce Gardner, and it was 2 as well for Quinnen.
It was a first and a second.
Yeah, okay. So you got a nice little haul there. Listen, I would love for the Jets to come out of this better than before.
The Herschel Walker trade that I mentioned earlier, it was in '89, and the trade is regarded as the start of Dallas's dynasty of the 1990s. They traded Walker to the Vikes, and the Chargers got involved somehow, and they picked up Isaac Holt, first-round pick in 90, second-round pick in 96, a bunch of first-round conditionals. My God, it was a lot.
So are you saying right now that the Jets renaissance is ahead of us? The Jets dynasty is about to begin?
The Cowboys picked up Emmitt Smith, Darren Woodson, and Russell Maryland in those
that's some good drafting.
Yeah. But they already, they were drafting well before with Jimmy Johnson, I believe, would have been the coach at that time. But you got to understand something. Because I grew up as an Oakland Seals fan, I always cheer for the underdog. And I want the Jets. I don't want the Jets to be sucky forever, and maybe this is the start of it.
Maybe. I mean, it'd be cool to see a Jets. I think sports in general is better when New York teams are good.
Yeah. But it usually comes down to the owner selling to somebody who knows what they're doing.
This is true. However, I don't like no team in New York. Sports is better when New York teams are good, but you can never call a New York team an underdog. They're either terrible or they're what they're expected to be, which is good.
I don't know. I think the Knicks are I mean, I think Dolan is enough of a Denver boot to maybe make any team he owns an underdog.
I don't think the Knicks can ever be underdogs.
I agree.
They're like the second biggest team in New York behind the Yankees.
I understand that, but you can't in any way argue that they're well run.
No, definitely not arguing that.
It's the best it's been in a while, though.
Yes, it has.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And it's because they don't have Phil Jackson or Isaiah Thomas in the front office.
Now, you want to know what the real reason is? It's because they underpaid Jalen Brunson by like $113 million and then paid him through an illegal tree corporation, probably. We're waiting on Pablo Torre to confirm that one. But if the Clippers can do it, I promise you James Dolan's going to do something similar.
Jalen Brunson really did he sign an extension right after he got traded to the Knicks?
No, it was a couple years later.
Oh, okay. Because he wasn't.
Where are we with that scandal? It's kind of gone quiet.
It's kind of gone quiet. I think it's just where it is.
No. The you're talking about the Kawhi Leonard one?
Oh yeah.
There was new news that came out that Steve Ballmer is being sued by 11 11 different corporations or people or something.
Yeah.
like
All
that.
the investors from Aspiration are
Yeah.
suing Steve Ballmer.
So it looks like things are going pretty well for him.
Yeah, he
He's got
owns
like
the Clippers. He owned part of Microsoft, and now he's being sued for millions upon millions of dollars, which will bring Aspiration back and put the money in the pockets of thousands of other athletes, hundreds of other athletes.
Well, I just like to see good people succeed. And that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer, famed good guy.
Man. I always respect the investigators who uncover this stuff. They don't get the headlines or anything.
Well, Pablo Torre gets the headlines.
Yeah, right.
Investigative journalist right there. Best in the continent.
That's just cruel, LT. Your punishment for dropping the ball at the goal line. Purgatory with the New York Jets. Let that be a lesson for all you young receivers out there, from Aaron. Wallman to the power play. People are still mad at Evan Bouchard.
As they should be. As they should be.
Rightfully so. I'm not doing any defending of Evan Bouchard, except for that second goal where Hall gets it and it goes off Stuart Skinner's pads. I don't think that's really on anybody. I think that's just the most unlucky thing I've ever seen.
Well, I think Emerson was a little bit unlucky on the second goal where I think McDavid accidentally tripped him, although he wasn't looking the same direction.
He pulled a Ken Rosenthal.
There we go.
Tripped him. Gave him the death stare.
Every time I see Ken Rosenthal now, I just think about that poor
I
cameraman.
can only think about that. I'm like, Ken Rosenthal. Jeez Louise.
That's his
what a
full
jerk.
name. Yeah. Well, I think it's impossible to come back from that. I don't think I can ever look at him as the same guy because
agree. Seems like a total douche.
That was he showed just absolutely zero sense of, oh my God, look what I did to that guy.
Empathy.
Well,
he's a psycho. It's confirmed.
He looked at him like he was like pond scum. I don't know how you recover from that.
And then he got his apology video. He was like snickering the whole time.
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, oh, come on, no, I would never do that." I think you would.
You just did. We watched you.
I mean, it's like Josh tries to drive over me in the parking lot every day. Going to get that on
I was
film.
too early yesterday. I was already turning the corner when you came out of the room.
I could see your eyes with regret in them as you drove off. Yeah. Like, man, I didn't time that very well.
For a second, I thought, man, we should just turn the car a little to the right and hit the gas. Go right through the front doors.
Yeah.
They just finished all the construction on them.
All right, it's 12:36. Andrew Walker has a long resume of great broadcasting, and we're delighted to have him on the pre and post as the host here at Sports 1440. Unbelievably, he's had me on his show, I don't know, a dozen times, and he's never been on this one. We're going to correct that terrible, terrible oversight next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter. For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights? Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Increase your lean muscle mass and fight age-related energy decline with Regenerlife Creatine. This high-quality third-party tested supplement helps replenish your body's energy stores to support your resistance training. Find it at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month. This hockey season, they're all in at Metal Supermarkets. They were even practicing the wave around the lunchroom table. Till Bob's soup splattered everywhere.
I'm so hungry.
Poor Bob. Oh, well, gotta love the passion. Speaking of which, their team is all in on cutting metal to your exact specifications. And fast. Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Love the Twang Tuesday. Love the emotion in the voice. We wanted to get a kind of a tearjerker to bring on for the first time ever. Andrew Walker, who's been doing the pre and the post for exactly one forever. And we've been trying to get him on, but he's a busy man. But we're thrilled to welcome him to the Lowdown today. Mr. Walker, how are you?
I'm doing good. Busy as always, but it's an honor to be on. I just always assumed, which is funny because it's a little hypocritical on your part. You want the kids to be given the keys. You want Savoy and I-Powered. Just here you go, play 20 minutes. No seasoning down in Bakersfield. Here you go. Here's your minutes. And with me, you took the tact. You know what? It's his first year doing pre and post. Let's let him sit in the minors for a year, and then we'll eventually get him on in year 2. Much more patient you are.
Well, I just I wanted to make sure that I was able to ask quality questions, and it took me this long. So I listen to your show all the time. I love the show, and I feel for you because I think the hardest thing to do is to be fresh when the team is bad, because you're going to get a cavalcade of rage, and maybe it's warranted and maybe it's not, but you have to make sense of anger as opposed to happiness. And I know it's good for the calls and the text because they come in lickety split, but does it wear on you at all that sometimes it's like 3 losses in a row, and by the end of it, Evan Bouchard is in your brain even though you don't want it to be?
It is a challenge, and I've gone through different, iterations of this in my career. It was always a joke. Remember William H. Macy was the cooler. I've always felt like I'm a bit like the cooler. I've covered a lot of bad hockey teams, and this is by far the best hockey team I've ever covered. And they're still with their frustration. it is hard. I would say right now, I'm probably the most annoyed I've been, and it's not necessarily at fans, because fans are going to fan. It's more of the team for putting me in the position, because it does take some creative juices to make a show original and thoughtful, and putting some thought and analysis behind what we're seeing. And I'm kind of caught in the middle right now, because everyone gets upset, and I don't blame them. Like the team looks, disinterested sometimes, and guys not playing to the potential, and we know what this team's ceiling is, so it's very frustrating. And at the same time, I sit there and I get upset, because didn't we just do this? Didn't we have all these same conversations 1 year ago? And everyone's like, oh, it's decided. You can never give Evan Bouchard a big contract because this is what he is. And then what happened? He single-handedly beat the Kings. They went to the final again. He had 30 playoff points. Like, we just did this. A year ago, McDavid was average by his standards. Hyman was hurt. Bouchard was brutal. The goalies were terrible, and it was true. Like, we all have eyes. And then they made the Stanley Cup final. So I have a really hard time just going on air and just deciding that hey, this is what it is, because we just did this. Like, we just did it.
Yeah, and I think that it is a different year because there's more youth on the team, and I think there's more injury, or at least as much there was last year. But still, in all, you do develop a past, and Evan Bouchard, I think it's fair to say he should be improving defensively, and I love him with the puck on his stick, and the numbers show, certainly at 5-on-5 and on the power play, over the last 3 years entering this season, that he really is money. He's like 56% goal share at 5-on-5, and it's even higher expected goal share. This is a quality player with or without McDavid, and he's really done a fantastic job. That said, I thought in Game 6 especially, he and Ekholm were really not good when the game was still in doubt. Certainly the first goal and really the first two goals were with them. And I do wonder, here's what I wonder, Andrew Walker. I wonder if this team, as it is simply going to have a brilliant, Ken Dryden, Dom Hasek goaltender to make up for all the defensive gaffes and finally win a Stanley Cup, because you can't get rid of all these mistakes, because the team is built for offense. They have their cannons, like the French in World War II, all pointed in the same direction.
It's a very good point, and I've never loved this as an indictment of Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, because all we talk about is cap, right? Cap space, cap, cap, and you have league average goaltending at about you pay cents on the dollar. Like, that's how you put together this team. Now, it doesn't necessarily help a lot for this year, but next year they're going to have between 20 and 25 million in cap space, I guess a little less when the extensions kick in. And so there's the big question. What do you do with it? And also, who is available? Like, that's something that, we all gloss over. Go get Hasek. Well, he's retired, right? So, to get on Bouchard, it's kind of just one of those, it's hard, right? Like you repeat the same conversation over and over, because he has his flaws, and we love him when he's good. He's very frustrating when he's bad. He's never had a great knack for timing. Well, he has and he hasn't, right? He's had a knack for timing to be really, really bad on a Tuesday in November in Buffalo or St. Louis. He looks like the worst player in the league, but he comes to play when the Oilers have their backs against the wall in a playoff series, right? And I know which one I would take. It would be really easy to have a defenseman that was just a little bit more quiet. That's for sure. But if he was, if he just chipped the puck up the glass and out, he wouldn't be Evan Bouchard now, would he? So, I get as frustrated as anybody. I like hockey played the right way. I'm not comparing, but I play a lot of men's league hockey. I'm a defensive defenseman. I hate when guys turn it over. It drives me bonkers watching Evan Bouchard. But I also know he's really hard to replace with all the good he does. And I do think, unfortunately, we live in an era where once someone's mind is made up, that's it. and they would rather be right than be happy. So it can be difficult convos to have it. But also, you know, they gave him the contract, and you can say they shouldn't have, but they did. He's here for 4 years. He's not being sent to the minors. He's not being put in the press box. I don't like wasting energy on topics that are just never going to happen. They have the number one power play in the NHL, and they have for the last half decade, and Evan Bouchard has run that power play. So, you know, some things just aren't going to change. Like, you know, we can discuss it and everyone gets their opinion, but it is what it is.
Sure. And I think that you know, sort of leads into the next conversation I want to have with you is, you know, why aren't they playing the kids? Well, most coaches, I remember Craig McTavish was like, you really had to prove yourself before you got any real minutes. And I think Matt Savoy is close to that. I think he plays a pretty strong two-way game, and Ike Howard has that, you know, quick release that is obviously going to result in a lot of NHL goals. But where are you with them, you know, kind of bringing in the kids at pace and maybe not playing Noah Philp as much as some of us thought that he might?
I think that we love Noah Philp because he's a good story, and he's just a young guy, and we're used to a team of veterans. I mean, you know, Noah Philp, every player on this Oilers roster was a Noah Philp at one point. Like, you know, he doesn't stand out to me. I think that it is really hard. Okay, so before we get into guy by guy and picking them apart, it's hard to develop young players on a Stanley Cup contender, right? Like Mackie Samoskevich didn't even play in the playoffs for Florida. And I'm sure, I know they don't get as into details down there as we do up here, but I'm sure they were winning playoff series and they got angry calls. Why aren't you playing Samoskevich? We love him. Yeah, good player. He's going to have a good future. But, you know, they need guys that are going to help them now in this moment, and it's hard. And you know, could they do a better job? Probably, but it's hard to develop young players on a contending team, and I think that a lot of people, we still have this PTSD from, you know, youth movements, and you got to play the kids no matter what, and it's the only way to be good. Well, it's not really the case. They have the guys that they need to prioritize. Also, when you're a skilled guy, and Howard especially, there's no power play time up for grabs on this team. Even if you, on almost any other team, you make the second unit and you're in practice, you know, that's amazing. Well, congratulations. You're going to get about 20 seconds of power play time a night. So, you know, that is minutes for these up and coming guys, and players on the Oilers just don't see those minutes. And we all know why. Like Dvorsky last night, right? This is a former first round pick, big league shot, and they throw him on the Blues power play to inject some life in it. First unit rips one home. What a beautiful goal. Ike Howard is not going to get this opportunity here, and it's asinine to suggest he should, right? So it's hard. The Oilers aren't the first team to struggle with it. It's hard to develop players on a contending team where the big guns eat up so much of the ice time, and that is the big question. Can they develop with practice? Can they develop playing between 7 and 11 minutes a night? Or is Bakersfield the right spot for them?
Yeah, those are all, you know, I think Bakersfield is for Howard. I think Savoy will probably survive like on a third line as a two-way winger. And you know, he's shy offensively at 5-on-5. So it's not like, you know, if he had a bunch of points, I think it would be a stronger argument. What's your sense of Roslovic and Mangiapane? And I'll throw Trent Frederick in there, who I always loved as a Bruin, but he does not look like the same player. I think that high ankle sprain may have some... you know, there may be some lingering there.
All three guys are fascinating. Frederick is a good player, right? Like we watched him for years in Boston. This is a guy, there's a reason the Oilers have been after him for years. This is a guy that can be a pest. He can play tough. He can fight. He can hit. He can skate. He's an athlete. He'll score you 15 to 17 goals. He can play up the middle. He can play on the wing. There is a reason the Oilers targeted him. There's a reason they extended him to a shockingly long deal. There's a good player there. For whatever reason, we haven't seen that in Edmonton. I will say, last night, I thought was Trent Frederick's best game as an Oiler. I thought everything for him comes down to the way he moves, and I thought he was flying out there. He had 6 hits. Now he's playing in his hometown, right? Had people there, so obviously there's an adrenaline boost, but that is and I know they lost a last-minute goal, so it takes away some of the steam. But that is the Trent Frederick that I remember. We'll see if he does it again tonight in Dallas, but I'm sure hoping that he wouldn't be the first guy to, he played all playoffs on one leg, and oh heavens, it took him 15 games to get going this year. There's still 65 of these things left, right? So that's fine with me if this is the tipping point where Frederick starts to emerge a little bit, and I hope he does because he's a good player and really key for what the Oilers are doing. I know he's a bottom sixer, but they waved goodbye to Evander Kane. They decided not to reinvest in Corey Perry. Trent Frederick is supposed to fill a big part of that, so I hope he does. Mangiapane is going to be on the bottom six in this group eventually. I really feel that. Hyman's coming back. I don't see Mangiapane as a scorer. He's had a few goals. Last night was a nice shot, but it's the first time he's pissed a drop in weeks, right? So I don't love Mangiapane. I think it's a decent signing for the money, but I don't think this is a go-to guy. Roslovic is interesting because I viewed it a little more as like, is this another Skinner Arvidsson? Like, what's the fit here for a one-dimensional guy? I really don't want to like Jack Roslovic, and right now I really like Jack Roslovic. I think he's been tremendous for the last 5 or 6 games. And that's the thing. I say on the post-game show, it's the thing with streaky players. Like same with baseball, right? We criticize a guy if he's streaky. But that also means you get to live through the good streaks too, right? And right now Jack is on one. So who knows? Right now they may have found something there. And maybe for a guy like that too, like he knows what his rep is, right? This is a guy 20 goals, doesn't get to play in the playoffs, and then no one wants him, certainly for the price he wanted on July 1st. That's a tough way to live. So I don't know. We all get wake-up calls in our own lives at different times, and maybe they found a little something in Roslovic there who's playing for his life. But he's a really heady offensive player. Even the little push-off last night in front to time it with McDavid. Roslovic's good. Like he can generate offense and way more than we ever saw from Arvidsson and Skinner. So I don't want to like him, but I do.
Let's go inside sports for the final question. I'm assuming that when you're getting ready for the show, you've got to crank up Donovan. So you say something to him like, I think you're wrong on Jeff Hoffman, and then wait for him to crank up and get angry and more rage filled. Is that how you do it? Is that kind of part of the prep, or does he just arrive automatically that way? I have just seen, I just see too much of Donovan in myself. And I know when I was Donovan's age and getting my start, and all I wanted to do is get behind that mic, and all I wanted to do was for everyone to hear my well thought out opinionated opinions, which are the lifeblood of sports radio. So it doesn't bother me. It takes everyone a little time to realize that it's okay to be wrong. And I'm not saying Donovan's wrong. I think he's shockingly on the money for a lot of stuff. But no, I've been there. I've lived it. Get those opinions out while you still care, I guess is my point. There you go. I love that. That's a great way of putting it. All right. Thanks for this. Enjoy tonight. We appreciate you.
Anytime. Thanks.
There you go. Andrew Walker. He's on at 5:30 today? Is that correct? Yeah. And then the post game as well. This is in from Molly Walker, and I'll send you to this, and then we're going to have an update. Molly Walker's been on our show, NHL reporter for the Rangers and beat writer for the New York Post, reporting that ex-New York Ranger and current Belleville Senator Arthur Kaliev is accused of scamming his ex out of $50K to fund what she describes as a rampant gambling addiction that's gone unaddressed by figures around the NHL. So that's going to be a storyline that we follow as time rolls along here. And wow, that was a talented prospect at one point in time, and this will no doubt hurt his NHL career. Okay, on the way, we'll talk to Daniel Nugent-Bowman in hour number 2. We'll talk a lot about the Edmonton Oilers, and Declinations is Declan CAA at 1:40. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Sam.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors, Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street and bring your next flooring project to life. That's Custom Floors, Inc. Oilers look to rebound after their loss against the Blues as they head to Dallas to take on the Stars. Puck drop at 6 with pregame coverage with Andrew Walker at 5. 9 other games in the NHL tonight. Sees the Bruins heading to New York to take on the Islanders. The Flyers face off against the Canadiens, and the Mammoth go head-to-head with the Sabres. Off the ice, forward Milan Lucic has rejoined the Blues on a PTO. In the AJHL, Grand Prairie Storm heading to Calgary. Trade news out of the NFL. Jets star Sauce Gardner has been traded to the Colts for 2 first-round picks and wide receiver A.D. Mitchell, while Quentin Williams heads to the Cowboys for a 2026 second-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and defensive tackle Mazi Smith. Saints wide receiver Rashid Shaheed has been sent to the Seattle Seahawks, and the Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers has been traded to Jacksonville for a 4th and 6th-round pick. Raptors on home court tonight as they look to tie the season series against the Bucks. Tip-off at 5:30. 5 more games in the NBA tonight sees the 76ers take on the Bulls. Hornets head to New Orleans. Hawks host the Magic. The Suns take on the Warriors, and the Clippers square off against the Thunder. And off the court, the Sacramento Kings have signed Precious Achiuwa with contract details yet to be reported. Coming up on the Lowdown with Lowetide, we'll be joined by Daniel Nugent-Bowman. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilmus.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly, some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means that it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace, or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates, Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tank. And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Finish up the season with the Lawnmower Hospital and Ego, the #1 rated battery-powered platform. Ego lawnmowers are easy to use, powerful, and efficient. Transfer the battery to the pressure washer and clean the house. Don't forget the air blowers for when the leaves fall. Get Ego at the Lawnmower Hospital. Power beyond belief. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440, a little after 1 o'clock. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick, family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Trade deadline in the NFL happens earlier in the season than pretty much any league. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, happens before the halfway point.
And I've always said in my brain, it's because they got to learn a new playbook and it takes a while and you never know. And, those are the reasons. Is that the reason?
I'm going to look up what the actual reason is. Okay. That sounds good.
I cheered for the team that had Aguilar, and I do think it might take a few weeks to learn playbook for some of these guys. Not, mentioning any names or anything, but I think it could. And it's interesting. I mean, the Jets are. When's the last time, Josh? This probably happens every year. I just don't know it. It seems like this team is really offloading some significant talent today compared to most years.
What, the Jets?
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah.
No, it's. I don't know, Deck. You're like, you can help me with this, but I don't think I ever remember the Jets really doing this in the last few years.
Or any team. Does this happen? Do teams offload like this?
This one seems a little heftier for sure.
This is
your all-pro
different.
corner, your stud defensive tackle. This one seems a little heftier, but teams definitely do offload.
But the
not quite to this level.
Yeah. So
I guess the shock to me is, boys, just watching this occur is the number of high picks. Like first-round picks are going.
First-round picks in the NFL getting traded like candy like this are insane.
Yeah.
Is insane.
Because just so we all know this, some may not know this, you're probably picking a 22-year-old who's one of the best college players from the year. And no matter where you're drafted in the first round, you're getting a really good talent. Those first-round picks are really guarded jealously because of it.
Super valuable. The NFL is also not a developmental league the way the NHL is.
Right.
Like, you're going to come in and you're going to play.
Yeah. Did you find a reason?
No, it was just kind of similar to what you suggested.
So I was right.
So like same.
I know you don't want to say it, but you could say I was.
Yeah,
right.
no, for sure. And then same thing. Like, I don't know. Just
didn't say I was right.
Said I don't know a lot. I didn't really answer the question, but
I don't blame you. What are the Cowboys doing? They get Quinnen Williams. You said earlier that you don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
They got Logan Wilson as well from the Bengals.
Yeah. So is this Jerry going, to hell with this noise? I don't want to be embarrassed on national TV anymore.
That's exactly what
yeah, but here's my thing, man. Like, you're selling off. I don't think the core of the Cowboys is going to change too much in regard to Dak and CD, and, Deron Bland, like Quinnen now over the next couple of years. Like, I do think the foundational pieces are there. But watching the Cowboys play against the Cardinals, like, there is nothing that suggests that this team is going to be a playoff team to me. And they just made moves a playoff team going for it would make.
They're 3-5-1.
I think the biggest thing for Jerry, he felt his hands were a little cuffed because of the Micah trade. He felt like he had to do something to counteract that, and these moves are that.
Okay. Well, okay, that gives me, then at least it's somewhat founded in reality. All right.
Hey, shout out to the Cowboys, man.
Yeah. What will we see first? A Buffalo Bills Super Bowl victory or the next Edmonton Oilers Stanley Cup victory?
It's a really good question.
Buffalo Bills, because they can win it in February and the Oilers have to wait till June.
Okay. All right.
I actually do think right now, if I had to pick, I would pick a Bills Super Bowl.
Okay.
Because this Oilers team to me doesn't look like a team that's going to be competing for a Stanley Cup. This Bills team, now I'm sure they're going to lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs again, but they look more like a team that could compete for a Super Bowl come February versus Edmonton competing for a Stanley come June.
Which is saying something, because I wouldn't exactly say the Bills look stellar.
The two things I don't understand about what Chris Knobloch is doing now, and understand, I think he's a brilliant coach, but they're playing the hell out of Leon just turned 30, and McDavid turns 29 in January, and they're playing the hell out of these guys. And I don't get it. There's nothing, you can't win the Stanley Cup in November, but you can lose it. And these guys are going to play in the Olympics. It's a crushed schedule and you're playing them, I have to believe that McDavid and Draisaitl said, yeah, play us a lot. We'd like to play a lot. This can't just be the coach going rogue. This must be the plan.
It has to be, because I keep forgetting about the Olympics, but you're right. Like, there's a break, but they're going to play. And Canada, in case you guys haven't heard, pretty good hockey country.
Look it up.
Despite the goaltender problems that they might face going into the Olympics this year, because Jordan Binnington doesn't look awesome, and neither does anybody else except for really Logan Thompson. But yeah, they're running the wheels off of the Glimmer Twins, as you call them. Is that their official nickname?
Well, that's what I call them.
Okay, the Glimmer Twins. I like it a lot.
Well, it's a great nickname.
It's like the Splash Bros, except the Glimmer Twins. I really like it.
It's also like playing them this much, like it's not working.
It's really not. It's like you're not seeing the results.
So you say.
So their record says that they have 3 overtime losses.
Yeah, the
Oilers have lost 2 more games this year than they've won, and that's analytics, baby.
That's right. More L's than W's on the board.
I hate the loser point too. I know that's not the conversation.
No,
we're
the
having,
Bettman
but
point is sick. Yeah. I hate it. I admonish. I hate it. I always have. It ruins the standings.
Yes, it does.
Agreed.
Like, I bet I can find an example right here if I look at the standings. Give me a second.
Well, the Flames last year had 18 overtime losses. They had 18 points.
Yeah. This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example. My goodness. The Winnipeg Jets have 2 more wins and 3 less losses than the Colorado Avalanche in less games. 2 more wins and 3 less losses, and they are behind 1 point in the standing because of loser points. Like, that is such a joke to me. Essentially, you're telling me a 7-6 team has more points in the standings than a 9-3 team?
The reason they did this, it was Gary, and they said, well, nobody likes to go and watch a tie. I love ties. There are teams that are at the bottom of the league, and they'd get a tie against, like the Seals would tie the Montreal Canadiens, and it was like the front page of the newspaper.
Or there's a simple explanation. You lose, you don't get any points. Doesn't matter if it's an overtime or not.
Here's what I would do. If you're going to keep the loser point, 3 points for a win.
I think there should be 3 points for a win and nothing for anything else.
I like 2 points for a win. If there's no points for anything else, 3 seems like a lot.
A tie, you get a point. I meant that. I just said it wrong. 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie.
But then you take out the shootout. Shootout is fun.
I would say either win.
Is the shootout really worth it?
I like watching shootouts.
Here's Harmi Hamaya. He played 3 minutes in the game, but he does a really nice move here. The goalie can never see.
I like watching the shootout, but it's like watching penalty kicks in soccer. I'm like, this isn't soccer. This isn't hockey. Like, it doesn't.
One of the things.
There's a reason there's no shootouts in the playoffs, because it's not the game.
One of the things I loved about the baseball playoffs is I didn't have to. Oh, it's the top of the 10th. There's a guy on second. How the hell did he get there?
Perfect example.
I hate that.
I think the ghost runner's dumb.
Rigging the works. People love the sport. Was anybody bitching about the 18-inning game?
No, nobody was bitching about the 18-inning game. But I think what the MLB has in making regular season games quicker and then going back to traditional games, except keeping the pitch clock, is good, because I think it keeps more fans entertained for longer.
By the way, have you noticed that my hair looks better the last couple of days?
No.
I've started to put goop in it.
Oh.
Well, you won't give me the good camera. Somehow Declan gets the Grace Kelly lens.
I don't know what it is about you sitting right there, but like, Connor looked great on camera today. Jason looks really good on camera every day, as does Kev.
So it's me.
I guess so.
Wow. Well, a lot of people wouldn't have the nerve to say that out loud, but well done.
Hey, honestly, Tide, you look fine. You're just being...
my hair looks better now. It looked kind of greasy the way you were filming it earlier.
Vain.
So
You're being vain. That's what it is.
Well, it's okay to be vain.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
Declan, isn't being vain a sin or something close to that? One of the
wait a minute. You can't say that. You can't call me out for being
vanity.
vain.
Yeah, all right.
No, I know. I'm pretty vain,
Jeez.
but I'm working on it.
Hello, pot. This is the kettle calling. You're working on it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad. It's always good to improve.
So humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The Mother Teresa of
Lowetide.
radio, Declan Krueger.
Shout
I'll
out.
never be.
All right. We could talk baseball free agency. There's some weird things going on.
Do you think Bassett comes back to the Jays?
I think he does. Shota Imanaga, the Cubs let him go. He's a free agent now.
Isn't that insane?
I don't understand that at all. Cubs are a weird team, man. They
Cubs
just
are
are.
an incredibly weird team. So historic, though. There's something about the Cubs that's just like so lovable.
It's the little Cub.
Maybe, but it's like I don't know what it is about the Chicago Cubs, but like I don't know. I have a soft spot for them, much like I do the Winnipeg Jets when it comes around to like the playoffs and stuff. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be nice to see the Jets do well? I don't know what it is, but every time I'm watching the playoffs, I'm like, man, the Jets.
You know, the problem with that, I get what you're saying. The problem with that is I used to feel like that about the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and then they started winning Grey Cups.
Well, they didn't really start ever doing that. 4 and
They won
100 plus years.
No, but they won 2 in like 5.
2 and 6, yeah.
Yeah.
07
So
and 13.
I stopped treating them like the next door neighbor kid.
There definitely are teams and leagues I root for where I'm like, these are the yuppie underdogs. Good for them. I'm happy for them. Like the Lions are one of them in the NFL, and the Sacramento Kings are one of them in the NBA. But in the NHL, I don't really have it as much. A little bit with Columbus, but never with Canadian teams. Like I don't need Canadian teams to do well. We got a Canadian team right here in Edmonton that I want to do well. I don't need to cheer for a conference rival in the Jets or a division rival in the Flames.
I don't know what it is about me, but every time I'm watching a Jets playoff game, I'm like, man, the Jets.
Well,
something about it.
I used to take a bus, dash tours. They would you'd get on a bus in Regina and you would drink, and you'd get to the hockey game and you would drink. And I watched a lot cross-eyed Jets games, looking at a pole right in front of my face because that's the ticket you got. And I loved those teams. The Howard Chuck Jets were fun. They were a few times I saw the Jets and the Oilers in that old barn, and it was fantastic. So I cheer for them because Winnipeg is like a similar kind of a prairie city that by the way has produced some of the best rock and roll Canada ever produced. And so I feel we got to have Murat Atesh on. We haven't had him on this year. Great guy. Love Murat. Does great work at the Athletic. So, but anyway, I like Winnipeg because it sort of feels like it's your friend. Winnipeg understands Edmonton, and Edmonton understands Winnipeg. And a lot of Manitobans live here, by the way.
I was actually going to put that out to the text line. Like, if anyone's lived in both Winnipeg and Edmonton, Ty Jordan, I don't know if you remember him, formerly of Virgin Radio down at Bell. Yep. He had lived in Winnipeg and he spoke very highly of it. But if anyone listening has lived in Winnipeg and Edmonton, I'd be curious to know how you kind of compare the two.
When I was a kid, younger, I guess. When I was playing curling, a guy on my curling team had moved from Winnipeg, played on my curling team, and then moved back to Winnipeg without telling us, by the way, on the weekend of a bonspiel. So kind of a dick move from him. But
that is a dick move.
I we get on there, give him a call. I'm like, hey man, where are you? Like, we're getting ready to play. And he goes, oh, I'm in Winnipeg. Why are you in Winnipeg? He's like, well, we're moving back.
No.
Huh? We still won, but
but it's it depends, right?
That's because I was goated with the sauce back in the day.
Probably he was, uncomfortable telling you that late,
Well, he used to text me at like 2:00 in the morning. Hey, what time's our first draw tomorrow? Like, what are you talking about right now?
The worst life is to be like the town goalie. Like, because guys will, if you're known as a goalie, guys will call you like, hey, we got a midnight game. Can you play? And it's like 9:30 at night.
You mean Brandon Douglas?
Yeah. Like, I mean, they're all over. If you can play goal, they'll give you anything to go play for their team.
You know how many times I sit next to Brandon and he's like, I got to leave like halfway through Fantasy Frenzy. I'm playing goalie for walks today because he can't come, or I'm subbing in for walks. Someone's out.
My God. It's just all of Edmonton is based on if you're a goalie, chances are your full-time job is a part-time job, and everybody understands. All right. It's 1:18. Daniel Nugent Bowman from The Athletic talking about Connor Ingram. Interesting story that he wrote this week, and you're going to want to hear about it. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Stredley. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Increase your lean muscle mass and fight age-related energy decline with Regenerlife Creatine. This high-quality third-party tested supplement helps replenish your body's energy stores to support your resistance training. Find it at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and if you're serious about selling your used RV, then I'm serious about getting you the money you want. You're not the only one who wants to spend the winter in selling mode rather than storage mode, and we're happy to help.
People come to No Bull RV 12 months of the year, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. A used RV is one of a kind, which means when the one you're looking for comes along, customers quickly pounce on it. So if you've outgrown your RV or you're looking to upsize, downsize, or just turn it into cash, come see us at No Bull RV.
You have to be serious about selling, though, right, Rick?
Better believe it, Bob. This is for people who truly want their RV gone. If we're going to store your RV for free all winter, it has to be priced to sell. And that's why customers come to No Bull 12 months of the year. Because you never know when the perfect used RV is going to arrive. And if it's here, it won't last long.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.com.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. 121, joined by our friend Daniel Nugent Bowman from The Athletic. Daniel, how are you?
I'm doing well today, Al. How are you?
I'm well. I don't want to bury the lead, but I really want to talk about, I know the Oilers are playing tonight and they played last night, but for me, the lead story is that brilliant piece you wrote about Connor Ingram this week, building a foundation on rock bottom. It was, it was very well written as always. The most poignant part for me of that article was some of the quotes from Connor Ingram, where it really kind of, he's been through a lot, and he's coming out the other side. And after reading that, I'm just cheering like hell for him.
That seems well. First of all, thank you all for the kind words. I would say that seems to be the sentiment of a lot of people I talked to or did talk to for the story is that they are rooting for him. A guy that has been through the program, player assistance program twice for two very different reasons, but kind of in the same vein. I mean, both were to help with depression. And the second time was, kind of, I wouldn't say a sudden loss of his mother, but it did happen pretty quickly. Breast cancer, she was given a year to live. She died after 9 months. And, he was telling me how, their wedding a few months earlier. He and his now wife Sarah. She looked pretty lively, and by the end, it was a few months later, she had died. So it happened very quickly, and that really took a toll on him being away. And he did obviously get to take a leave of absence and be around when she, and see her before she did pass away, before she died. But he wasn't there, obviously, for most of those months leading up to that. So, very, very tough time for him. He's had a lot of challenges in his pro career, and but a lot of people think that there's still, that NHL goaltender who, had a .907 save percentage a couple seasons ago, who led the league in shutouts that season as well. But it is going to take some time. He's just starting to get playing here, in October this past month, and now into November, for the first time since the end of February. And, there's some rust. There's some time to build this game, needed to build this game back. The expectation is that it will come, but, there's no certainty when it will come, and, if it'll come in time, for the Oilers to make use of that this season.
It's interesting because when they signed him, there was a sense of, we got a lot of text here, and there was a thought that, man, as soon as he's ready, they're going to have a look at him. And then in reading that, and I think he's in preseason mode. I mean, I know the season is starting, but he didn't have a camp or anything like that. It's been a while since he played. But I'm more concerned about him just getting back, and it sounded like, based on your writing, that he really feels like he's in a good place no matter what happens, and that maybe is the most encouraging part of the situation.
Yeah, I would say that's it from a personal and professional standpoint. He's happy to be with a new organization, just happy to be given a chance. That's kind of the biggest thing here. But I would say also that there's no guarantee. There was no guarantee that a team provided to him when he did when they did trade for him. And the word that was used a lot in Calgary over the weekend by people around the team, and with even Ingram himself, is patience, and being patient. It could take a little while here. Obviously, there's two other goaltenders that play here, and that's Stuart Skinner, who's off to a pretty good start, and Calvin Pickard, who I would say has struggled pretty much for most of his 5 appearances, except for maybe the first one. So some of that will play into it, and has played into it as well. But I think the most important factor at play is Ingram's ability to get back, and him being in a good place, which he seems to be right now.
Daniel, final one on the Condors. I watch them online, Flow Hockey, quite often, and it feels to me like the defense is a little chaotic. There's Lepinen is more of a puck mover. Dineen's a veteran, and he can post points, but it's a little chaotic when he's out there. I like some of those guys, but it feels like that might be a little chaotic defense to play in front of it. Was that what you got from watching the team?
I think so. I especially noticed it in the first game there in Calgary, the one that Ingram did not play. That start went to Matt Thompson. But yeah, there was especially a goal in the first period where Lepinen really had no awareness of an odd man rush and a guy on the back door that came a little mini 2-on-1 down low, and pass went right through for an easy goal. I would say, yeah, you're right. He's a little bit, certainly more offensive minded, and that's what he's down there to work on, is his defensive game. Lepinen, Cam Dineen, certainly known for a bit more offense. Josh Brown, is down there. Is a guy on an NHL contract too. They have some players, so they're trying to work in some guys too. I'd say maybe not the easiest defense to play in front of, but you'd think, he is an NHL goaltender who's played behind a lot of teams that haven't made the playoffs. So he's kind of used to that scenario as well. When he's at his best, he should be able to handle, I think, a lot of that. It's just a matter of how long it takes to get there before he can show that.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Edmonton Oilers' disappointing loss last night They got off to a 2-0 lead. You get a goal from Mangiapane that was a gorgeous pass from Nuge to Mangiapane, and then Roslovic goes shelf, which is another really nice goal on the power play. Felt like they were in control, but the Oilers have a hard time holding on to leads and defending a lead. And I wonder if maybe they should just play like they're behind or 0-0. It might be better for them, because when they try to play shutdown hockey, it does not work.
Doesn't seem to, eh? I mean, we saw that last Thursday, especially against the Rangers. I mean, even Saturday, they let a lead slip away. It's happening a little bit more with regularity here recently. I think they're still ironing out stuff defensively. And I would say it wasn't obviously in the best game from Calvin Pickard either. Through 5 appearances, I was just looking this up. It's allowed 5 more goals, or just over 5 more goals than expected in all situations. For 5 appearances, but the first one being, I don't know if he allowed a goal above expected that night, because the Oilers were great against the Canucks in the second game of the year. I think 13 or 15 shots, and he allowed a goal. But either way, so the last 4 appearances are the ones you kind of point to there with Pickard. So, yeah, it's been a very uneven start in a lot of ways for this team. Like, they're still struggling to score at 5-on-5. Really, the power play is the one thing that's going. And again, I would point to Skinner. I think, the numbers aren't tremendous. He's been a little bit above average so far. But I think based on trying to seek improvements from especially last season in particular, I'd say he's made some strides. So a lot that hasn't gone particularly well this season, especially more of late. And it is kind of contributing, I think, to some of these blown leads.
Daniel Nugent-Bowman, our guest, The Athletic, on Sports 1440 and the Lowdown with Lowetide. Last year, McDavid solo, Draisaitl solo, and then the 2 players together accounted for 47% of the total minutes played by Edmonton, whether it was 5-on-5 or overall. This year, it's 52% 5-on-5 and 54% overall that one or both is on the ice. And I'm like, at first I thought, well, the coach doesn't trust the kids, or the depth lines, or he's worried about who's injured. But now I'm just thinking that maybe this is a situation where the players themselves feel they can handle that load.
They probably do. I know they do feel that way, especially, Draisaitl's talked about that. But I think you're going to get to a time where you're going to need to rein them back a bit. It's a matter of how you structure that ice time. Traditionally, they play a minute and a half, minute 45, maybe even the full 2 minutes of a power play. Those aren't high, I don't want to say high leverage, but they're not high intense minutes. So, giving them that time is fine. You're obviously talking about overall, and on the power play, some of that is of the way they've been penalty killing, and they've been used in that regard, and Malbach has liked that. So whether or not that's going to continue, we'll see. I think he's indicated that that's still a little bit of an open conversation, as we get maybe some guys back and try to figure that out. But they have been pretty good on the penalty kill, those two. So you're going to need to work in, some more guys, see what they can bring, because them both going to the Olympics, expecting another, trip to the playoffs and what they're hoping will be another long run. You don't want to burn these guys out. So I think as the season progresses here, it's going to be about finding the right balance there for those 2 players and how much they play.
It's so true. And I watch this team and I, you want to go, geez, this is bad. But, they had a worse record a year ago, and they made the Stanley Cup final. And I never want to say, well, this team can just turn it on when they want to. But, maybe they can, Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, look at the way they played down the stretch last year, right? Pretty bad. I mean, there were a lot of injuries there too, of course. Hyman and Draisaitl and McDavid and Ekholm. Go down the list of the guys that were hurt down the stretch last year. But it did take them a couple games in that LA series to kind of get things figured out. But I mean, they won, was it 10 of 12, I think, in the playoffs from the LA series on to, game one of the cup final. It was something like that. I can't, so maybe 11 of 13, I guess, that maybe by the first game, but they sure turned it on. They sure figured it out. You don't want to have to go to that position again, of kind of having to find it, going into the playoffs, wondering if you can find it, and then going down 2-0 in a playoff series. But yeah, their track record has been these mediocre, or to your point, how like this is actually a good start for them compared to last year and especially the year before. So they've had mediocre, dreadful starts and found ways to figure it out. This team isn't a finished product. Still getting Zach Hyman back. They're still going to add to the roster a little bit ahead of the trade deadline. And there's always, I obviously have been, giving Skinner some roses here. But I think goaltending, I've talked about Pickard. We've talked about Ingram. Like, goaltending is still very much a discussion point and a point of evaluation for the organization. So there will be changes to this team in some manner. I think scoring forward in the top 9 is certainly one area, and then you might need to look at the blue line and maybe even in that as well. So I do think they'll figure it out. It's not the way that anyone had intended or wanted them to start, especially internally. But I don't think we're at the panic stage yet, and especially given how the last couple of years have gone.
Final one for you, Daniel. Roslovic and Mangiapane scoring yesterday. Those were two candidates I thought would be, choices or possible choices to move out of the top 6 when Hyman gets back. They both score. Ideally, I think you'd want to maybe look at Nuge on the third line, but he's been so productive with McDavid and the power play this year. If you had to guess who's coming out of the top 6 when Hyman gets there, who would it be?
So it sounds like there are no problems, eh? Everything's good. No, I mean, I think the natural spot is Hyman with McDavid. And you might want to start with Nugent Hopkins because they've got some chemistry. And to your point, Nugent Hopkins has been playing pretty well in general and pretty well there of late. I would say then it probably is Mangiapane because I think that second line is starting to develop something. I've really, the first few games, I was not that impressed with Jack Roslovic, but that's probably to be expected because he didn't have a training camp and was figuring things out with a new team. I think he's been really good of late. I think he's found some chemistry with Draisaitl. I think they can kind of play off each other, and he can make plays with Draisaitl, which is really important. And Pye Coulson just seems to be that right winger for Draisaitl to go dig out pucks and to find him the puck. So I think you probably want to leave that second line alone. So I think maybe at this point, depending on how things shake out and how quickly Hyman actually does come back, it would be Mangiapane that comes out of the top 6 in my view. But maybe you move Mangiapane to the left side with McDavid and Hyman and let Nugent Hopkins come down and kind of build out that third line with Henrique if you leave him there and have two kind of natural centers, which is something they tried early in camp. So there are some options. And there are some good options. And to your point, Al, like the top 6 is the one area that has a little bit of juice. So it's you're maybe in that sense building from an area of strength even rather than trying to fix something that's broken.
Daniel, thanks for this. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome. We'll talk to you again soon.
There you go. Daniel Nugent-Bowman at The Athletic. We appreciate his time. Adam Schefter tweeting out 10 minutes ago, there have been 6 trades today, tied for third most of any trade deadline going back to 1990. Eric Samulski from NBC Sports says there were 63 trades at the MLB deadline this season. And by my count, there were 24 trades on NHL trade deadline day. It gives you an idea about how much more active MLB and the NHL are compared to, looks like the Eagles have done something. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next segment. Although it's devoted to Declan Krueger, it's Declinations and Declan CAA straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned and community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. We say hi to Doug and Mary. And we note that the Eagles have made a couple of moves. We may get to that, but right now it's time for Declinations. Brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. And now we turn him loose. Declan Krueger.
I'm really excited for this one. Tonight is the first edition of this season's college football rankings. So what I'm going to do is naturally I'm going to go over my top 12 and my group of 5 team, because 12 teams make the playoff and there has to be a group of 5 champion in there. Theoretically, there actually could be all the group of 5. Yeah. Because it's the top 5 highest ranked conference champions, but one of those, because there's 4 power conferences, has to be group of 5. So
and then what about Notre Dame?
Notre Dame is an independent, so they don't have a conference affiliation for anyone who doesn't know, which I would say more often than not probably favors them. Like this iteration,
I think it does.
The way the playoff is set up should favor them for that. And it's funny you bring up Notre Dame. I'm going to talk about them because, like I said, I'm going to give my top 12 here. And then I also want to give what I think the committee is going to do tonight.
Okay.
So my top 12, first 3, no breaking news here: Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, in that order. 3 best teams in the country, especially the top 2. Texas A&M, are they the true 3rd best team in the country? Are they better than Bama, Georgia, Oregon? I'm not sure, but they're 8-0 playing SEC ball, and they've got some good wins along the way, including Notre Dame on the road. Number 4, I do have Bama at 7-1. At number 5, I have Oregon also at 7-1, and at Georgia, I have 6 at 7-1. At 7, I have BYU. They are 8-0. They are an undefeated team playing out of the Big 12, a conference that I thought, well, very early on, I thought Kansas State was going to be the best team in the conference. And then as things kind of went on, I thought Texas Tech was the clear best team. But BYU, to this point, their resume is there. They're 8-0. I have BYU at number 7. I have Ole Miss at number 8. Ole Miss, I haven't been very bullish on. I had them ranked higher in different iterations, and I said, listen, are they really one of the best teams in the country? Probably not, but they're undefeated, so I'm going to give them the credit. But you know what? They've played really well, and they're a good team, and they played Georgia. Like Lane Kiffin's got them whipped into shape. I got them number 8. Number 9, I have Texas Tech at 8-1. Number 10, I have Virginia at 8-1. Number 11, I have Louisville at 7-1. And number 12, I don't love it, but I have Texas at 7-2. My group of 5 team is Memphis at 8-1. So my iteration of the playoff right now would be Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Bama, Oregon, Georgia, BYU, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Virginia, Louisville, and Memphis. Texas would be the first team out in my, if it was up to me, if I was the commissioner of college football.
By the way, Al Davis said Lane Kiffin was a liar.
Al Davis did say that. He didn't have a great tenure there as the Raiders head coach.
No, he did
now,
not.
what I think the committee is going to do, I think they are going to have Notre Dame. So I think they're going to have a similar top 9 to me. But where it differs, I think they are going to have Notre Dame in that top 10. I think they are going to have Virginia in that top 10. And I think they are going to have, or in that top 12. And I think they are going to have Texas there as well.
Right. And those are like Texas and Notre Dame specifically.
Yes, but what's funny about this is there still has to be a group of 5 team, and that group of 5 team surely will be Memphis. All indicators point to it being Memphis. And so what I think the committee is going to do is they are going to put Notre Dame in, Louisville will come out, and Texas, as I had it, will be left out for Memphis. And I just want you to think about that for a second. Could you imagine a college football playoff where the Texas Longhorns are left out?
It's just crazy.
For the Memphis Tigers, an American team.
I'll tell you, there are many millions of people who live near where Texas plays their games, and they will not be happy.
And listen, this is the letter of the law. These are the rules. Like, there has to be a group of 5 champion in there. And if that group of 5 champion is not ranked inside the top 12, then whoever is ranked number 12 will come out. And like I said, in this iteration, it will be Texas. But I'm very curious because here's another thing, Lowetide. I have 2 Big 12 teams and 2 ACC teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
The committee, well, they love them some SEC.
Oh, yes.
And they love them some Big 10. So does the committee take out a 1-loss Texas Tech team who lost on the road with a backup quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Do they take that 1-loss team out? Do they take one of Virginia or Louisville out? Probably Louisville because they lost the head-to-head. And then do they, hold on a second, slide in a 7-2 Texas who lost to Florida? Do they slide in a 7-2 Oklahoma
They'll
team?
find a way to make Texas in there, I think.
That's what I'm kind of wondering as well. Now, I will give the committee this credit. Last year, they took the integrity route, because they could have put Bama in over SMU when SMU lost the ACC championship to Clemson. But they said, no, hold on a second. We're not going to punish SMU for losing a championship game where Bama could not make a championship game. They didn't punish SMU for that. But I wonder if this year they look and say, you know what? 7-2 Texas or an 8-1 Texas Tech. Oh, I kind of like 7-2 Texas. Hey, hold on a second. 7-1 Louisville or 7-2 Oklahoma. I kind of like 7-2 Oklahoma. I'm very curious to see what these first iterations of the rankings will look like.
To me, I think you're making a great point, because I think what part of what the committee does is they'll say, well, we screwed these guys over last year. So
yes, that's, I think, part. Now, granted,
the dice should have no memory.
The dice should have no memory. And I'll say this as well. The teams that, quote, could have got screwed last year, 2 of them were Bama and Ole Miss. They're both going to be safely in. They both should safely be in. The other one was South Carolina. South Carolina, they have a losing record. They're not going to be. Oklahoma didn't have a chance last year. Texas was in as well. But I'm very curious to see what the committee does here with, some of, just let's be real with it, some of the network deals that belong to the SEC and some of the prestige of the conference. I'm curious. The other thing I want to say, during this segment, BYU and Texas Tech play this weekend. College game days going there. 8 BYU, 9 Texas Tech in the official rankings. Undefeated BYU, 1 loss Texas Tech. If you're looking for something to do this Saturday at 10 a.m., maybe you just finished walking the dog, just finished breakfast, throw on that BYU Texas Tech game. I know I'll be watching it. I'm really, really excited to see what's going to happen. 2 other things really quickly, and then we can move on. Tennessee shouldn't be ranked. I don't know what I don't know how much the boosters are paying the AP voters and the coaches for them to be ranked at 6 and 3. It makes zero sense whatsoever. It's beyond a travesty. It's ridiculous.
Rancid.
It's rancid. It hurts the sport. And Iowa at 6 and 2, 4 and 1 in conference play, they should be ranked as well.
Right.
Oh, actually, I have one more really fun stat. There are 3 teams in college football this year whose defense has not allowed more than 24 points. One of them is Ohio State, the number 1 team in the country. The second team is Indiana, the number 2 team in the country. The third team are the Auburn Tigers, who are 4 and 5 on the season.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
How's that for a
That's
fun
bad
stat?
luck, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Massive trades.
And thank you. Sorry, I also want to give a special thank you to Josh. He got all these graphics up on YouTube. They look insane. They look so good. They're so well done. Shout out Josh for making those because he did it very quickly.
Are they still up?
Oh, if you go on YouTube, you can rewind it. He did a phenomenal job. They're bright. They're colorful. Shout out Josh. That is amazing work. And everyone follow him on Twitter at jfenwick04.
I'm just getting to YouTube.
As someone who was the digital producer on Gregor's show
Oh, no, that looks good.
for about 2 years before he started, this is the best work any digital producer on this station has ever done.
I have to say, it looks dynamite.
He killed this, man.
Yeah.
He killed this.
He's all that and a bag of chips.
This is the best work. This looks so sick, man.
It does. It really, I gotta say, man.
That's what we're about here.
Yeah.
And give him a raise. Give him some of your salary, actually.
I don't think that
High
will
6
happen.
figures,
Well, I
man.
don't know. I'll let him run over me. It'll make him feel better in the parking lot. I know he tries.
I love this segment.
I did mention that there were a bunch of trades in the NFL. Does anybody want to give me an idea about what the best trade so far that you've seen is? Or are you paying attention?
I've spoken enough this segment. I'll throw it to Josh and Sam for sure.
Crickets.
Sorry, I was just catching up with what I missed. Evidently nothing. AJ Brown not going anywhere. Surprised? I am not.
No, me either.
So, there's that, I guess. Eagles fans have something to rejoice about.
Eagles did a couple of things. I don't know if it's big or not.
I don't know. I don't have anything from Schefter here. Oh, interesting. The Cowboys picks that they sent to the Jets. Jets get the higher of the Cowboys picks between them or Green Bay from the Micah trade.
Draymond Jones to the Ravens, along with Gilman.
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
Look at that. They need to do something on that defense, man.
They need to do something.
But
bad.
is it too late? Like, I mean,
here's the thing.
Yes.
I think they could still win the division. Pittsburgh has not looked nearly as good as I thought they were.
Okay. All right. So then maybe that's the driver there. And we're just about done, right? Like it's 9 minutes left, right? So
yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Sometimes things come in at the buzzer. I remember the NBA trade deadline. What would that have been? 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe. There was a lot of moves going on that resulted in, like Davion Mitchell. That's how he ended up on the Raptors. He was in the last 2 minutes of the trade deadline. He got traded, and then Sabonis got traded in the last minute or something like that. There's some crazy stuff like 4 years ago.
Shout out Davion Mitchell, by the way. My point guard
You
right
mean
now.
off night?
Yeah.
Because when you're guarded by him, you're having an off night.
Dude, that's the best nickname ever.
It's so good. Too bad he never really panned out.
But it is a great nickname.
It's so good.
He's playing well in Miami right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is a Miami Heat now, isn't he?
He's my starting point guard, brother.
Your starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, man. When did you join the team?
If you bought the Miami Heat, what's the first move you'd make?
Bring Jimmy Butler back at $100 million a year.
I could have won money making that bet. That's exactly what I thought you'd
That's
say.
the wrong first move to make, though.
No.
If he owns the Miami Heat, he clearly invests in reincarnation technology, brings Pat Riley back from the dead. I'm assuming this is a few years down the line. And then you just keep him there to keep running the Miami Heat the way he has been.
Old Pat Riley.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean the good one?
The good one.
Yeah. Former head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
I give Spo a lifetime contract.
If I bought the happen to know what, the first thing I'd do is sign Mark Pouliot to play center, the third line center. He's still playing, by the way.
Wouldn't you rather just buy a baseball team and move them back to Montreal?
I would love to do that, but Major League Baseball doesn't work like that. They wouldn't let me. You have to be like the Oakland Sacramento A's and sort of be on your way to Vegas. I don't even know if they'll ever make it to Vegas. They're like a vagabond
And
team
forever
now.
they'll just be the Athletics. The Oakland Athletics.
Yeah. This year we'll play in Portland, Maine, right? So, because they started in Philadelphia, then they went to Kansas City, then they went to Oakland, and now they're in Sacramento on their way to Vegas.
What's one city you guys think should just get a sports team? Doesn't matter what league, but just give them a team.
Well, the Seahawks,
North Battleford?
the Seattle Supersonics should be back right away.
Give Vancouver a team outside of the Canucks.
No, I'm saying like a city that doesn't have a team.
Hartford.
You know what? Calgary deserves an NHL team.
That'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque.
Give them something.
They get a basketball team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Albuquerque seems like a basketball town.
Wyoming
Actually, you know what?
something.
Shout out. Give Oakland a baseball team. They have no teams.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They used to have teams. They used to have NFL, NBA,
They had the Raiders,
NHL,
they had the Warriors, and they had the Athletics.
And the Seals.
Well, I'm talking about in my lifetime.
You guys ever watch back old Disney movies and like wonder if the parents voted red or blue?
No, you absolutely know based on what they look like.
I've never had that thought once in my life. But now now that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be watching a Disney movie or something, an animated one. Oh, Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
That's a
great
good
one. That's a classic.
What's the one
right
with
there.
Dean? What's his name in the car? The something bug. The
Chitty
love
Chitty
bug.
Bang Bang.
Yeah, well, and the love bug, right? So
yeah,
those are some great
Herbie
ones.
the Love Bug.
Yeah, I wonder what
The
the
old
love
one,
bug.
and then there's the
love
Lindsay
bug would
Lohan
be
one.
probably Democrat, right? Maybe not.
Make a lot of money racing. He's probably red.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
All right, Jason Krueger is on the way. We end these shows so well. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your fridge just got an upgrade. Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals waiting at Loca Quality Market. Shop local at loca.ca. Oilers look to rebound after their loss against the Blues as they head to Dallas to take on the Stars. Puck drop at 6 with pregame coverage starting at 5. 9 other games in the NHL tonight with the Bruins heading to New York to take on the Islanders. Flyers face off against the Canadiens, and the Mammoth go head-to-head with the Sabres. Off the ice, forward Milan Lucic has rejoined the Blues on a PTO. In the AJHL, Grand Prairie Storm heading to Calgary to take on the Canucks. Trade news out of the NFL as Jets star cornerback Sauce Gardner has been traded to the Colts for 2 picks, while defensive tackle Quinnen Williams heads to the Cowboys for 2 picks and a player. Saints wide receiver Rashid Shaheed has been sent to the Seahawks, and Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers has been traded to Jacksonville. Raptors at home court tonight against the Bucks. Tip-off at 5:30. 5 more games in the NBA. Tonight sees the 76ers take on the Bulls. Hawks host the Magic. The Suns take on the Warriors, and the Clippers square off against the Thunder. And off the court, the Sacramento Kings have signed Precious Achuya. Coming up on Sports 1440, it's the Jason Krueger Show here on Sports 1440. And this has been your Sports 1440 update.